Good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Purple today, hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today's vid, people of the tube, we are looking at the John Frusciante crazy wah-wah sound slash technique. Used in such things as like the End of Daddy California solo, stuff like that. I get a lot of people actually asking for a video on this, and I've actually done a video on this many moons ago. But it seems that like whole videos on YouTube just get lost to the annals of time, so I thought I'd just do an update video, do it again, and you know, maybe might be able to explain it a bit better and maybe go into a bit more detail. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about pedal order, which is the most important part of this video, and then also the technique and how to do it, you know, how to play the licks and whatnot. So let's get into it. So the first things first, pedal order. Like I say, if you don't have the right pedal order, you'll never get this sound. Simple as that. So, traditionally, wah-wah pedals are, to me, last, to everyone else first. So basically, normally, your guitar goes into your wah-wah pedal, and then from your wah pedal, you go into your other effects. Not with John. With John, you go from your guitar into a distortion pedal or a fuzz. That's where John's run these distortions. Although at this point in time, I swear he's running his super overdrive on this side of things. But that's for another video. So yeah, so from a guitar into a distortion and then the wah. So you need to come from your guitar into the input of your DS2, preferably, because we all know about DS2s and John. Into the input of the DS2. From the output of the DS2, we want to go to the input of our wah-wah pedal. I'm using the Ibanez V2. And then from the output of the wah-wah pedal, we go to other effects or the amp. That is paramount. If you don't have things set up this way, you won't get that sound. I will show you in a bit, people of YouTube, the difference between traditional and John. Basically what this does, it turns the wah into more of a filter. When you're kind of on a traditional side, you got your usual kind of wah-wah sound. It's doing its usual filtery kind of thing. But when you have it on this side of things like that, it becomes super wah. You know, and you heard it in the intro jam. And again, if you're a John nut, you know what I mean. So I have my DS2 set up with level tone and distortion flat out on mode 2, the John mode, and I have my Ibanez wah boost level turned all the way up on the guitar mode. That's how I've got mine set up. I've also got the golden plexi as well to give me that John Frusciante dirty clean. That's always on. That won't come off for this entire video. So yeah, that's it. That's the most important part of this video. Like I say, because I can show you how to play the shred lick, but if you haven't got your pedals in the right order, it won't sound right, and it won't give you the right effect. So I can show you how to play it, but if the sound's not right, you're going to be like, ah! So anyway, so that's it. That's the most important part. So now what we're going to do, Pitcher, I'm going to rearrange, move the camera and I'll quickly show you the difference between John wah and traditional wah, and then after that I'll get into showing you how to actually play the crazy John licks and stuff like that with the wah wah pedal, and I'll deploy a phone cam for wah cam as well. So yeah. So let me quickly show you the difference between traditional wah and John wah. Okay, so here's the difference between like traditional wah-wah sounds. Let's say where the wah pedal is on the output side of the the distortion pedals are on the output side of a wah-wah pedal in relation to John's when they're on the input side. So this is the output side. So sounds good, but the problem is you have to use your bridge pickup for that. If I go to the neck pickup and use a wah, I'm going to lose a lot of the frequencies because of just the nature of wahs. But if I go to the bridge pickup, you know, it sounds a lot more wah-y. But and you can kind of get a pseudo kind of crazy John wah sound. But it's not quite right. It's not quite right. So now, jumping over to the John thing of like having the distortion on the input side of a wah-wah pedal, this is what happens. I'm going to go to the net pickup, and this is what happens. In relation to... that's traditional. This is John. Traditional. John. You can hear the difference. Like, it's night and day. You know, the wah just becomes an absolute monster wah. And again, it just gives you that kind of like, you know, that kind of crazy white noise thing. Just mega intense sound. So yeah, so that, like I say, that's paramount. That is the most important part of this video. If you don't have the pedals set right and you don't have them in the right order, excuse me, you're not gonna, it's never gonna sound right. So so that's that. So that's the difference in that. Let's get into showing you some of these licks now that you got. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one. Now I'm going to show you this one. And then this one. And then to round it off, nice one, is basically the same as the first one, but an octave up. So, let's move the camera in and get on with this. I'm going to do a tube, so let's get going. I'm just going to move that camera down a smidge. Oh, wrong way, because we're upside down. There we go. Okay, so first lick we're going to learn today is the Danny California one, you know, made famous by Danny California. Like I say, John has used this lick a lot and does play this lick a lot. It's this one. That's the one we're doing. So, what we're doing here... and again, you can see on wah pedal cam how the wah pedal moves and is manipulated. So, really slow, this lick sounds like this, and clean sounds like this. That's the lick. So what we're doing is we're bending up the 12th fret on the G string. It's kind of like between a semitone and a tone. It's kind of not really in tune. It's just this... you know, we're not quite getting to that note. We're not quite at that note. You know, and because it's so fast, you know, it's you haven't really got enough time to get it to full pitch and or whatnot. You know, it's what it is. So we're kind of bending up the 12th fret on the G string, kind of like pseudo semitone, just over a semitone, if you will. And then we go down to the 10th fret on the B. Then we go to the 13th fret B. And then we pull off back to the 10th fret B, and then repeat. Okay, so that's the notes. That's the lick. That is the lick. But the right hand technique isn't this. Because that would just sound like this. Which is cool, but it isn't quite John enough
for us. So, what we're going to do, people of YouTube, is this. And I'm not kidding. I'm not actually kidding. This is what John does. If you take away the wah-wah pedal and the DS2, this is what it sounds like. All that extraneous noise you get is what gives the lick that mad intensity, that massive kind of noise. So what I'll do now, I'll quickly show you it, doing it clean like this, and then I'll go into the strumming thing and you'll be able to hear the difference. So this is straight. This is John. And you can see different things you do on the wah-wah pedal. You can slowly sweep it up, or you can just do the wah-wah-wah, like now that crazy thing. It kind of goes in time. So you hear the difference between clean and not clean, and it works the same if you're on like a dirty clean town, where I changed accents. Even without the DS2, like if I do it clean, it sounds really cool, but this sounds better. But if I turn the wah pedal off, turn it back on, all that extraneous noise is basically being filtered by the wah-wah pedal and the wah-wah pedal more than anything. The distortion does help as well, but it all adds to the intensity and the craziness of that sound. And again, this is why I was talking about pedal order is so important, because if I do that on this side now, the traditional side of thingy, it's not going to do that at all. This is going to sound awful, so bear with me for a second. It does sound like a mess, but going back to the John side, and doing that slow sweep is really cool. So if you go heel down on the wah-wah pedal and slowly bring it up while you're doing it, it sounds amazing. It's a really cool, kind of like, it adds intensity to things. You can hear John doing it on the off-the-map version of Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Yeah, it's super cool. Super cool. So, that's lick number 1, people of the tube, I'm going to show you today. So and that's kind of like the lick, if you will. Kind of like, you know, that one and lick 3 and 4 that I'm going to show you today are kind of like, you know, they're staples of John's toolbox, if you will. So, lick number 2 I'm going to show you is this one. Which, to me, I really, really like. It's kind of John-esque, and it's really good fun. Basically, what we're doing is this. So, we start off on the... Again, all these licks, by the way, people are coming out of the key of D minor. One of John's favourite keys, and the saddest key of all time. So, we start off on the 12th fret on the G. And again, it's all picked. So 12th fret G, 10th fret G, 12th fret D, 10th fret D, 12th fret A, and then we finish up on the 10th fret on the D. That's the lick. With the wah-wah pedal and distortion, sounds like this. And again, you can do different things with it. So you can do that kind of slow sweeping thing with a wah, or you can go kind of crazy. Again, like you can see on wah pedal cam, it is running, right? Yeah, just making sure. That just terrified me, thinking, I did press record on that, right? What goes on here. So I'll show you the kind of the crazy wah-wah-wah thing first, and then you can see the slow sweep. You know, so hopefully you get the idea. It took me a second to get that one there. But yeah, that's the lick. The really cool thing is you can actually combine lick 1 with lick 2. And that brings me nicely into lick 3, people of the tube, which is basically the same principle as lick 1, but we're on the B and the high E string for this one. So we're going to start off on the 13th fret on the B, and we're going to bend that up again, not quite a tone, not quite a semitone. It's kind of just above a semitone. So like that. So we're going to bend up the 13th fret on the B, go to the 10th fret high E, and then we're going to go to the 13th fret high E, and then pull off back to the 10th fret high E, and then rinse and repeat. And again, same deal. We're going to be doing that, but again, the wah-wah pedal and the distortion pedal is going to augment that. Take the wah pedal off. You can blend all three together and it sounds like a glorious John Frusciante craziness wah-wah part. So that's that one. The last one I'm going to show you, people tube, is basically the same as this one, note-wise, but next octave up. So we're going to go to the 20th fret on the B, and again, same deal, not quite a tone, not quite a semitone, just over. Bending up the 20th fret on the B, and then we go down to the 17th fret high E, 20th fret high E, pull off back to the 17th fret high E, rinse and repeat. And again, that sounds like this all in. So there's another one. You can actually do this lick without the bend. You can go, which is a favourite lick of guitarists worldwide, which is basically a slightly different technique. You're starting off on the 10th fret on the B. And what you're doing there is 10th fret high E, hammer on to the 13th fret B. Sorry, I didn't mean high E, B string, sorry. 10th fret B string. I get really flustered in these teaching videos. They freak me out. I get lost and I get freaked out, and then I can't play properly because I get freaked out. This is why I don't do a lot of teaching videos, because they scare me. So anyway, 10th fret B string, and then you hammer on to the 13th fret B string, and then you pull off again. Hammer on, pull off. Like that. And then we finish up, sorry, on the 12th fret on the G. And you can do this again with that wah pedal. This is actually a lick that took me so long to figure out. For a long time, I really wanted to know how to play this one. And it took me ages to get it. And when I got it, I was like, oh my god. And again, you can do this with the wah pedal and distortion. It's kind of John, but John tends to do the bendy one more. But John does do this one as well. You know, it's really cool. I associate that one though with more Mike McCready. It's like the Why Go solo. Anyway. They're the 4 licks, people tube, and like I say, you can go from one to the other. You can kind of blend between them. So if I just randomly let's run them together. So we'll start with 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to finish. You can blend them together quite nicely, and they do just form an absolute chaotic mess of intensity. They're so insanely cool. Okay, so there we go, PooTube. That's it. You know, that's the crazy. That's the secret to John Frusciante's kind of crazy wah-wah thing. Notice I've been on the net pickup the whole time. This is another thing as well. John will do this on the bridge pickup as well, but I always find it's way more intense on the neck pickup. Anyway, yeah, lick 1, lick 2, lick 3, lick 4, lick 5. And why not have another one, people of the tube? I'll throw another one in for you. No, because 5 seems like a weird number to end on. Let's end on 6. So another one is this, which is basically the same principle as this, but down here on the B and high E string. So we're going to be starting off on the 8th fret on the high E, and we're going to hammer on and pull off immediately to the 10th fret on the high E, and then we're going to go to the 10th fret on the B to finish. And again, this one just sounds great. John does this one a lot in Don't Forget Me. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So, you know, have fun with those 6 licks, people on YouTube. They're really, really good fun. And again, they can be used not just for John, but you know, they're kind of like staple rock licks forever. You know, so many people have used these things, and they just sound great. But again, with the wah-wah pedal added with distortion and having running the pedals that way, just creates for just immense. Yeah, it's proper intense. It really is. You know, like it's camping. Anyway, so let me quickly talk about moving these into different keys. So we've done all these in D minor, right? And we've got our D minor pentatonic box here. And basically all those licks are in this minor pentatonic box. Try to do it Django Reinhardt way so fingers don't get in the way. But this one is just this bit of a pentatonic box, basically just those 3 notes there, sorry, just bending that one up. The next one is just completely pentatonic. And then this one, again, same. The only one that's really outside, and this one, that's all pentatonic. The only one that's really kind of outside that pentatonic box is this one. So, if you think, right, so this is your D minor pentatonic box, because that's your root note, D. So this is D minor. And this licks here. Say your song's in A minor, so here, and you got your A minor pentatonic box. That lick is going to be the exact same shape, just here instead. So if it's in D minor, it's D minor pentatonic. It means it's here. If you're in A minor, it'll be here. If you're in B minor, there. You can kind of see it. If you ever get confused of where to do these licks, run your pentatonic box. And then on the shape on your G and B strings, just think of that note and that note and that note, and you've got it. So that's how you can move it around through keys. You can do it in E, you can do it in G, do it in even F, you can do it in C sharp minor. I went into a different lick there. Ignore that one. You know, and again, you can move them up octaves as well. So if you're in A minor here, your next A minor can do it up here, or you can do it there. Where is it? You know, knowing this is absolute paramount, and also knowing the fact that once you get to the 12th fret, everything's just repeated. So this box here in A minor is exactly this box here. Just next, it's just an octave up. But yeah, that's how you can move these licks around. So again, if you've learnt this lick in, if you've learnt that lick in D minor, it's just here for A minor. B, G, C, E, C sharp, G sharp. You know, you get the idea. If you ever get confused, like, oh, where do I actually do this? You know, just run that pentatonic box. And when you get to your G string, the second note on the G string is where you start. That's the one that bends up. And then your B string notes on a pentatonic box are the next ones. Anyway, hope I made some kind of sense for YouTube. And again, if I've made any mistakes, I really do apologise. Like I say, teaching videos are not my forte. They freak me out and I get really flustered when doing them. I'm actually sweating a lot because they freak me out because I'm always afraid that I've done something wrong. But hopefully if I've done something wrong, you can see what I'm doing. You can see what the wah pedal's doing on wah pedal cam. Hi, don't my socks. You know, you can kind of like, you know, correct from there because invariably I'm going to say something wrong because I get flustered when doing teaching videos. It's why it freaks me out. But yeah, hopefully it made some kind of sense anyway. And again, if you were curious about this John lick, like I was for ages, and how to get that kind of crazy wah-wah sound, this is how you do it. They're the licks that John will use invariably with this kind of like, you know, crazy wah-wah thing. Yeah. Anyway, thank you much indeed for watching, PeopleTube. I will see you again very soon for another video. Hope it's been informative. Like I say, these aren't just John Frusciante licks either. You can use these for anything. You know, they really are kind of like, you know, universal guitar licks. They're great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vid. I'll see you again. If you like this channel, like the videos I do here, please consider becoming a patron. The Patreon links to that are down there in the description box below. Other than that, I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye now. Oh, please subscribe to Red Giant as well. See you later.